Hey guys, welcome back. This is History of Power Rangers Season 3, Episode 43 of my show, but this is about Episode 8 of the Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers mini saga segment of Season 3. Now, since we're on Episode 8, that means we've got 2 more videos left until the end of the 3rd season, but before I actually start talking about it, I just want to mention I hope everyone had a good Christmas over the holidays, despite what's going on with COVID and everything, and I hope everyone was keeping themselves safe. Because of the fact that we're under quarantine right now. Like, I know we're under quarantine right now here in Canada, but I think also they're in the States. So I'm just saying this. I hope everyone stayed safe over the holidays this year. And the good news is on this front is that there's supposedly 2 versions of the vaccine for COVID coming out and stuff. But anyway, that's enough getting off topic, but anyway, this is History of Power Rangers Season 3, Episode 42 of my show. This is about Episode 8 of the Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers mini saga segment of Season 3. And Episode 8 in the Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers mini saga segment is known as sowing the seeds of evil. Sowing the seeds of evil. Now I'm gonna explain something. The reason why it's actually called that is because what's gonna happen. I'm gonna explain what it means by that. There's a funny reasoning as to why it's called that at the end. Called that is because of what's gonna happen at the ending part of the episode, but I don't want to spoil that. So I'll wait until I get to that point. But anyway, basically what happens is, for this episode, the first one, to go over, if you guys remember back in the previous, episode I talked about, Adam was the one that got his fragment of the Zeo crystal. So in this episode, both Tommy and Kat are sent to different portions of the Earth and different timelines to retrieve their fragments of the Zeo crystal, and basically the place where Tommy is sent is a Native American sort of village, and the place where Catherine is sent is a past version of her home world of Australia, basically. Anyway, getting into the segment with Tommy, basically, and Rita and Zed do send down a monster for the Alien Rangers to deal with, in this episode. And they technically also try to bring, like I said, they also try to bring an enemy from Aquitar over there in order to eliminate the Alien Rangers. But basically, I just wanted to get that part out of the way since I mentioned Rita and Zed. But anyway, basically what happens is, with Catherine's, basically what happens is first, Billy is helping, Cestro build this, rehydrating device for the alien rangers so that they can rehydrate without having to access the water supply, like having to physically come in contact with the water supply of Earth in order to rehydrate. And basically, what happens is, after that, what happens is, that's when Billy gets curious about Sestro's world of Aquitar, and he asks him if there are beings like Lord Zed on Aquitar, and well, actually, I'm gonna backtrack here because I'm sort of getting ahead. I'm sorry, it's just getting kind of late while I'm recording this, and so I guess I'm kind of tired while I'm recording this right now, so that's why I'm kind of skipping ahead. But basically, what happens is I'm gonna get back into what I mentioned with Catherine and Tommy when they were sent on their portions of the Zeo Crystal quest to acquire their fragments. Basically what happened was, the place, like I said, the place where Tommy ended up was a Native American village in a past timeline, because they're at different points in the past to recover their fragments, and Catherine is basically ending up in Australia. Well, a past version of Australia, and then basically what happens is, I'm actually gonna do Catherine's first because of the fact that, well, the moment Catherine actually is a little bit funny, because I say funny because it's funny in an ironic way, because basically what happens is, after she realizes that she's back home, this woman drives this truck over to where she is, and then when she sees the woman, she realizes that it's someone who looks just like her, like an older version of herself before she returned back into the form. And then Catherine says that she's her, and she means, and then the woman explains that her name is Agatha, and she was sent to help her on her quest to retrieve her fragment of the Zeo Crystal. And so basically, Catherine gets into the truck with the person that is basically an older version of herself before she was turned back into a child. And they start going on the quest to look for her fragment of the Zeo Crystal. And then basically what happens is, now I'm gonna get into the segment with Tommy, because he's the other one of the Rangers that gets his fragment of the Zeo Crystal in this episode. He ends up in a past version of a Native American village, and then he talks to a woman there at the in the past version of the native village that he's in. He's saying that he's looking for this crystal, which is sort of like a rock, and then she points up at a bird in the sky, and then Tommy says that it's not a hawk, it's a rock, basically. And then she's basically telling him to follow the hawk to so he can find the crystal, and then basically, and then basically what happens is, after that, now I'm actually gonna get into the segment with, Billy, because, Rita and Zed do send down, I can't remember if they sent, what monster they send down for this episode, but I do know, that they do send the Tangas down, to, wreck, the machine that Billy and Sestro built to keep them rehydrated. So I'm gonna get back into that segment. While Billy is helping Sestro build the machine for the rehydration of his allies, Billy, for the rehydration of his friends, and then basically Billy's asking him if there are beings like Lord Zed that exist on Aquitar, and then basically, Sestro says that there most definitely is, and he tells Billy that there exists a being on their world that has tried to destroy them on multiple occasions, and this being is known as the Hydro Hog, otherwise known as the Emperor of the Dark Waters. I explained that part in my character bio video when I did the first video for this segment of the Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers, for the Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers segment of Season 3, which was the character bio video. Anyway, when Zed overhears that part, he's like, Emperor of the... This is actually... when he overhears that part of it, he's like, Emperor? The Emperor of the Dark Waters? Sounds like my kind of guy. And then he thinks that the best... And then after Rita overhears that part, she says that wouldn't it be nice if they had a monster like that that could dry up those alien rangers for good. And then Zed agrees with her. He's like, yes, if you have a pest problem, call an exterminator. And in this case, the exterminator is the Hydra Hog. But anyway, getting back into it, but first, Rita and Zed send Tangas down to destroy Billy's rehydrating device. And basically what happens is then they also send down another monster for the Alien Rangers to do battle with, and the Alien Rangers manage to destroy that monster. And then Rita and Zed get upset that they lost again. Now, I'm sorry if it seems like I'm rushing this one, because it's not that I'm rushing it, it's just, to my knowledge, there isn't, much that happens. I can't remember the name of the monster that was used for this episode, so that's part of the reason why I'm kind of rushing it, so I apologize about that. Anyway, Rita and Zed get upset that their monster was destroyed again, and then basically, this is basically after they sent the Tangas to destroy the rehydrating device, and and then Tommy and Kat managed to get a hold of their fragments of the Zeo Crystal. Now I'm gonna get back into that segment with them very quickly. In Tommy's case, what happened was, he met this man named True of Heart who told him, that the crystal would be able to choose him if he was the right person, and then Tommy basically explained that he was the right person, but then True of Heart told him that if he was wrong, he would remain trapped there forever. And then after he manages to get his fragment of the Zeo Crystal, True Heart also gives him this arrowhead, which will get actually become one of the major plot points for the next season. I just wanted to get that part out of the way. Anyway, and then he returns with his fragment of the Zeo Crystal, and then Catherine, if you guys remember back when I started the segment with Catherine, she had just entered this transportation vehicle with someone who was like an older version of herself named Agatha, and they were going to the location where her fragment of the Zeo Crystal was. But on the way there, they meet this old woman that's there, and then Catherine gets a little startled by that again because it's another person that looks like her, and then basically she's telling Agatha that she has to help the old woman, and Agatha's telling Catherine that if she stops now, that means her quest will be interrupted, and is she sure it's something she wants to do, and she says that it is. So she gets out of the vehicle to help the old woman home, and then basically, the woman tells her that she gave up looking for her fragment of the crystal in order to help her, and then she said that she deserves a reward for that, and the reward that she gives her is actually, ironically, it's her fragment of the Zeo Crystal. And then after that, she manages to leave it, as well as Tommy does it after he gets his arrowhead, and they manage to put the there are two fragments of the Zeo Crystal in place, and then basically what happens is, after that, Rita and Zed get upset that the Rangers acquired two pieces of the Zeo Crystal, which means it's almost complete. So they decide to call in the Hydro Hog to help them. So they send a transmission beam down to Aquitar, but by that point, Alpha and Zordon see it, and then when they notice the transmission beam, what happens is one of the alien rangers is saying that they might be trying to find a way to send the alien rangers back to their world, or send someone from their world to Earth, which in this case is the Hydro Hog. And then Sestro sees it, and then basically what happens is after that, the being that they're trying to contact is the Hydro Hog, and then basically what happens is Zordon and Alpha take a precautionary measure to block their transmission beam, to stop him from contacting the Hydro Hog, and that's basically where this part stopped. That's basically where this episode stops. But I will mention this before I finish the video. Zed's actually gonna send out two transmission beams in the first part of the final two episodes But I'm gonna explain why when I get to those. I just wanted to bring that up though, since I mentioned it. Anyway, then, that's basically where this episode stops. So if you guys like this video when I post it, just please give this video the real best you guys can. And I will see you guys, probably, maybe tomorrow for the next video because of the fact that I didn't upload any videos, the past 2 days. But until tomorrow, guys, just please give this video the real best you guys can. And I will see you guys next time. And like I always tell you with this series, may the power protect you always.